Hi, my name is Julie, and today I'm here to talk with you about paying for college. By applying for aid, submitting requested paperwork, and following up, you'll complete steps to be considered for a financial aid offer. By reviewing your costs, you can determine the aid you need to accept to pay tuition, fees, and other educational expenses. The first step towards paying for college is to apply for aid. If filing the FAFSA for the first time, otherwise known as the Free Application for Federal Student Aid, students, as well as parents of dependent students, should apply for an FSA or Federal Student Aid ID and password. Additionally, families will want to gather tax forms and W-2s for the applicable tax year. To apply for aid, you'll want to file the FAFSA at fafsa.gov. To reduce errors and make the process as fast as possible, we encourage applicants to transfer their tax data into the application using the IRS data retrieval tool. Once we receive your FAFSA, we'll communicate with you by email and your UCD Access Portal to-do list. Please monitor both regularly for updates. Students who are not eligible for federal student aid should consider filing the CASFA each year, also known as the Colorado Application for State Financial Aid. The CASFA is a safe, easy way for students to apply for state aid as well as scholarships. Students who hold a status of asset may complete the application to apply for state aid. Students who hold a status of DACA, as well as international and undocumented students, may complete the application to be considered for scholarships. In addition to completing the application to be considered for scholarships, students will also want to individually apply for scholarships through our scholarship application, otherwise known as Lynx Plus. If after completing the FAFSA or the CASFA, we need paperwork from you, you'll be able to find the notification through your email as well as in your UCD Access Portal to-do list. You can see our example of one student's to-do list that has 5 items on it to complete. Once you click on the actual to-do list, you'll be able to see details about the items that we're requesting. It's important to follow up after submitting documents. Once you submit a document, it will show as received or processing on your to-do list. If we're able to accept the document, we'll update its status to show as completed. If we need more information from you, you'll notice that the document or the task was updated to a status of incomplete in your portal. It's important to follow up and complete all your tasks to be considered for a financial aid offer. To determine the amount of aid that you need, you'll first want to determine your expenses. The university creates an estimate of your expenses for the fall and the spring terms, referred to as your cost of attendance. Your cost of attendance is not a bill, but simply a tool to help you plan. Expenses that are included in a student's cost of attendance are estimates of your tuition and fees, estimates of housing costs, estimates for the costs of books, for transportation, as well as for personal expenses. You can learn about the cost of our on-campus housing and meal plans through our housing website. We always encourage students to consider renting books or buying used versions to save money. Additionally, ways to save money is using public transportation to get to and from campus. There are a number of ways to help pay for expenses in college. First, grants and scholarships. A second way to pay for expenses is through work-study employment. Additionally, you can use savings and payment plans and student and parent loans. Grants and scholarships are typically free money that do not have to be repaid. To apply for grants, complete the FAFSA or CASFA each year. To apply for scholarships, complete the scholarship application each year. Work-study is a great way to pay for day-to-day costs while in school. It allows you to earn an hourly wage while working between classes. If offered work-study, you'll want to check out our job board to search for jobs, interviewed, and if offered a position, begin working. To be considered for work-study, you'll want to complete the FAFSA application or the CASFA application, meet the eligibility requirements for financial aid, have financial need, enroll in a minimum of half-time credit load while working, which is for an undergraduate student, 6 credit hours. Lastly, you'll want to make sure that you're meeting satisfactory academic progress, which is a way we measure student success and progress. If offered work study, you'll want to work on landing the perfect job. You can search for positions through work study or hourly positions through our Handshake job board. If invited, you want to treat the interview for the position just like any other job interview and make sure you're prepared. If offered a position and you work to earn an hourly wage, you'll be paid every other week. We encourage students to use work-study funding to pay for their day-to-day expenses, in contrast to paying for tuition and fees. Work-study is a great opportunity to be able to gain experience in your field of study while in school. Upon completing the FAFSA application, it's possible that students may be offered 2 types of loans. The first type of loan you're going to be considered for is a federal direct subsidized loan, which is available to undergraduates with financial need. The government pays the interest on a subsidized loan while you're in school at least half-time, as well as for the first 6 months after you leave school, referred to as a grace period, and during a period of deferment, which is a postponement of loan payments. Additionally, the government pays the interest on a subsidized loan as long as you're graduating in a reasonable time frame. The second loan that you'll be considered for upon completing the FAFSA is a federal direct unsubsidized loan. This loan is available to undergraduates regardless of financial need. Students are responsible for the interest on an unsubsidized loan from the day the loan is applied to your CU Denver account. Interest can be paid as you borrow, as well as later. If you are considered a dependent student and your parents' information was required on the FAFSA application, it's possible your parent may be invited to apply for a federal direct Parent Plus loan. This loan is available to parents of dependent undergraduate students. The Parent Plus loan is a credit-based loan and requires a credit check as part of the application. If you have adverse credit, you may still be eligible to receive the loan if you meet additional requirements. Students whose parents are not eligible for the loan may be considered for an additional loan. Most financial information included on the application for financial aid is from a tax year 2 years prior. If you or your family feel data provided on your FAFSA does not reflect your current financial circumstances, you can visit our webpage to explore your options. To prepare for the term, you'll want to monitor your accounts. Offers for financial aid were emailed at the beginning of April and will continue to be provided to students as students become eligible for financial aid offers. Please monitor your university email regularly, as well as the email that you included on your FAFSA application, and review your portal to-do list regularly. Once offered financial aid, you can accept it. After creating your budget and determining your expenses, all the aid that you will accept will be located in the UCD Access portal. If you accept a loan, you'll want to sign a master promissory note, which is your commitment to repay that loan, as well as complete entrance loan counseling. The counseling session is completed electronically and teaches you how to become a responsible borrower. Additionally, if a parent plans to borrow a Parent Plus loan, the parent will want to complete the Parent Plus loan credit check. We encourage for you to plan for your expenses. How do you do so? You prepare for aid as the first step. You can review your university bill and your expenses. It's important to understand that financial aid is applied to bills beginning 1 week prior to the start of the term. While you're offered financial aid for the fall and the spring terms at one time, financial aid is applied to your account at the beginning of each term. It's important to make sure that you're accepting financial aid to be able to fund both the fall and spring terms, though. You'll want to review your due dates and plan for expenses for your semester bills. And you want to plan for refunds by enrolling in direct deposit so that you can receive your refund in the most secure and fast way. What is a financial aid refund? It's the amount of money that you have left over in financial aid after you have paid for your tuition, fees, and if living on campus, campus housing and a meal plan. Again, we want to strongly encourage you to consider enrolling in direct deposit. That way you can receive your financial aid refunds as timely as possible to help you pay for your educational expenses. Authorizations are important to consider as well. Authorizing your aid to pay all charges will ensure that you do not receive a refund when you owe a balance to the university. You can authorize aid to pay all charges in your UCD Access portal. You also want to make sure that you're reviewing your billing due dates to avoid any unnecessary late fees or service charges. Students and families who are interested in enrolling in a payment plan have a number of options. We take payments between 1 and 4 payments spread out throughout the term. You can review enrollment deadlines for each semester's payment plan on our billing office website. Payments are actually made through an automatic debit system, so it's important to ensure that you're prepared for your automatic payments. Higher education or college is a little bit different for families and can be an adjustment when it comes to families' access to a student's records. FERPA, or the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act, was created by the government in order to protect students' educational records. Students can authorize parents and others to inquire about their account by completing the authorization. Without completing a FERPA authorization, we're limited on what we can share with loved ones. You can complete a FERPA authorization in your UCD Access portal. Things to remember throughout the time that you apply for aid and use aid is that you want to make sure that you're accepting enough aid for both the fall and the spring terms at one time. You'll accept your financial aid for the entire fall and spring terms all at once in your portal. If you don't need an entire loan, you can accept a portion of the loan. Students also encourage their peers to check their UCD Access portal and email regularly for updates. We are here to help you. If you have questions for us, you can connect with us through our website, by phone, by email, as well as through your portal by scheduling an appointment. We appreciate your time today.